The Forest Beyond Time, Chapter 2, The Hollow Oak. The eternal forest was calm at dawn. Mist clung to the ferns. Sparrows called from the canopy. The castle of Isabel, Queen of Forests, glowed with morning light. But not all was well, for deep in the western grove stood the hollow oak, an elder tree as old as the forest itself. Its trunk was wide enough for 10 men to circle. Its crown touched the clouds, and its heart had begun to fail. Isabel felt it first. A slow ache in her own chest, as though part of her was fading. She pressed her hand to the bark. It was cool, too cool, and the flow of life within had weakened. Rowan came with his staff, his brow heavy. "This tree has always stood strong," he murmured. "Something gnaws at it from inside." Piper darted close, her wings stirring the air. The first rays of sun caught her, and the starlight left from night quickened across her arms. She laid her ear to the bark. "I hear whispers," she said softly. "They're tired whispers, forgotten ones." Together they stepped into the hollow trunk. Inside was more than darkness. It was a world of roots and glowing fungi, a twisting corridor that seemed to stretch beyond the oak itself. The air was thick and heavy. Small creatures of bark and moss skittered past, their eyes dim. Deeper they walked, guided by Piper's sparks of starlight. Her magic glowed wherever she lifted her hand, lighting the hollow like lanterns. Rowan's staff tapped steady against the roots. Isabel walked last, her calm presence holding the space in balance. At last they came upon the heart of the oak. It was vast, a chamber where roots wound around themselves like ribs. In the centre lay a pool of still water, and above it clung creatures of shadow, pale and thin, their wings tattered. The shadows whispered without voices, "We cannot sleep. We cannot rest." Rowan frowned. "These are dream moths. Once they drifted through the forest at night, carrying rest to creatures great and small. Without them, the oak has been hollowed by exhaustion." Piper's wings beat fast, scattering sparks. "Then we must help them rest." Isabel stepped forward, her voice low and gentle. "Little ones, why do you wander here, clinging so tight?" The moths stirred, their bodies trembling. "We have lost the night. The stars are too far. We are trapped in wakefulness." Piper's eyes widened. "Then they need starlight." She turned to Isabel. "If I carry the stars into the hollow, they'll remember how to rest." Rowan looked doubtful. "Child, your light may fade too quickly in such a place." But Isabel laid her hand on Piper's shoulder. "Even a spark can guide the weary to sleep." So Piper flew upward, higher and higher in the hollow chamber. She spread her arms wide, calling on the starlight that still lingered in her wings. Soft sparks spilled down like silver rain. The moths stirred. They lifted their heads. One by one they stretched their wings toward the light, and as they touched the falling sparks, their bodies softened, their voices eased. The dream moths lifted into the air, circling slow and quiet. Then, like leaves, they settled into the pool of still water, and there they rested, wings folding in peace. The oak groaned, not in pain, but in relief. Its roots glowed faintly. The bark warmed again. Life returned to its veins. Isabel bowed her head. The hollow oak will stand, and the forest will dream again. Rowan leaned on his staff, smiling. sleep returns to the smallest creatures, and so it returns to us all. Piper drifted down, her wings dim but her smile wide. I only borrowed a little starlight, the sky will give me more tonight. Together the three stepped back out into the day. The hollow oak stood tall and steady once more, its branches rustling like a sigh of relief. Bird song rose in the canopy. The forest breathed easy. As they walked toward the castle, Isabel spoke quietly. The forest gives us many trials, but it also gives us the strength to face them. Piper twirled in the air, laughing softly, and when the stars rise again, I'll be ready. Rowan chuckled, his voice deep as earth. Then we are safe indeed. And overhead, the oak's branches reached skyward, strong and whole, cradling the day in their green arms.